Coming up this half hour, the governor responds to increased cases of COVID in the state. We'll hear what he and a top business official have to say. Plus, lesson plans. We look at what the next school year could hold for Montana students and families.
While the curtain has yet to be raised on some theaters in Montana due to COVID-19 concerns, it's full screen ahead at the Orpheum Theater in Conrads. I'm Tim McGonigal, and I'll have that story coming up.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning to you. We're so glad to have you with us. Happy Friday. I'm Shannon Newth.
I'm Grant Garland.
Yeah,
Let's get
not
you.
Jason over here.
I know, right?
Yeah. He's
totally.
As we've been sharing with people, we just bought a house, Jason and I did, and so he's busy moving in. It's been a week. It's been a week. I'm a little scatterbrained this morning, to be honest with everyone.
I was about to say, the stress level over here, I'm trying to I'm there for moral support.
It's good. I'm good. Now we're here, settling. It's all good. Yeah.
That's right. Well, let's go ahead and get you out the door with a quick check of your forecast. Well, today we are looking at the chance for some severe weather later on in the afternoon that will carry on into the evening hours, damaging wind gusts as well as possible hail and frequent lightning. We cannot rule any of that out. Also, unfortunately, for our 4th of July, we are looking at the chance for also some severe thunderstorms too, mainly in the afternoon through the evening hours with hail possible as well as frequent lightning. Current temperatures walking out the door 44 degrees right now in the Electric City. Head on down to the capital, 51, 41 in Butte, 49 in Havre, and 52 in Glasgow. Now, as we head throughout the next couple of days, we are going to be looking at mostly sunny skies for most of us. However, though, those isolated severe thunderstorms will be making their way back in this afternoon as well as tomorrow afternoon. So we're going to have to make sure that we keep a weather eye on the horizon, Shannon.
All right, Grant, we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you. Time now is 5:01, and Montana continues to reach milestones when it comes to coronavirus numbers. This week, the Treasure State surpassed the 1,000 confirmed cases mark. And Thursday's 67 cases are a record since reports began back in March. There's also been a 23rd death from coronavirus in the state, a person in Bighorn County. Montana has 373 active cases. More than 700 people have recovered from the virus. In a press conference on Thursday, Governor Steve Bullock says he's worried Montanans are letting their guards down. He said 6 weddings and their related gatherings have led to at least 24 cases and impacted 2 other states. The governor said people need to avoid large gatherings, or if they're around other people, wear masks. Bullock said he'd like it to become socially accepted rather than a requirement. The president of the Montana Chamber of Commerce also appeared alongside the governor at the Capitol for that news conference and said many businesses are calling on people to increase their use of face masks in public. Todd O'Hare said the business community doesn't want Montana to follow in the footsteps of other states that have had to reinstate closures of some establishments.
Government grants, low interest loans, business bailout dollars cannot compare to healthy economic activity. Businesses will not be able to survive in Montana without a healthy economic activity in the state. And healthy economic activity is founded on a healthy population.
We don't have to be like these other states and take steps backwards if we again raise our guard. And one of the most important ways we can raise that guard is to make wearing a mask a habit and normalized.
Bullock said he's still hopeful Montana can keep its number of cases from increasing greatly or even decline in the not too distant future. Well, heading into the Independence Day weekend, plenty of people will be out for gatherings, celebration, even fireworks. Montana currently is in phase 2, which has allowed for less restrictions due to COVID-19. Cascade City County Health Department officials say the phased reopening is largely responsible for that increase.
So we have been seeing an increase in cases. I think there's a couple of contributing factors to that. One is we are doing more testing. We are recommending that any close contacts be tested as soon as they are notified of being a close contact. But that can't explain away all of the new cases. So what that tells us is that reopening is contributing to the spike in cases.
The governor's office released a set of guidelines for Montana public schools to follow as they consider how to reopen this fall amidst coronavirus. But so did the state superintendent of public instruction, and she's not exactly happy about the double set of plans. Early Thursday afternoon, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arntzen, a Republican, released a 40-page set of guidelines on how schools may reopen this fall. Within the hour, though, Democratic Lieutenant Governor Mike Kenney unveiled a separate set of reopening recommendations developed by the governor's office. Arntzen spoke with us and told us that she spoke with Kenney 3 weeks ago and told him that officials should have a unified plan. She says the governor's office going ahead on its own is a, quote, poor way of doing government. However, she says she'll still include the governor's recommendation with information that she sends out to the school districts this summer. Governor Bullock said since he's had given the directive to close schools back in March, he thought it was important for his office to issue guidelines on reopening. Both documents are a list of recommendations that school districts can choose to follow as they decide how and whether to reopen this fall. As COVID cases increase, the Great Falls Public Library will take steps in an effort to mitigate its role in the spread. Starting this next Tuesday, July 7th, the library will require anyone who comes into the building to wear a mask to prevent the spread. Library Director Susie Mcintyre said it wasn't an easy decision, but she says it's necessary based on the increasing number of cases in the state. Children under the age of 12 are exempt from this policy, but they must be supervised from someone who can help them adhere to social distancing. Mcintyre said the library will provide masks at the front door if people are not already wearing one.
We definitely are always try to be data driven. You know, we're librarians, so we're really about the information. And so we're following the guidelines of the Centers for Disease Control and the City County Health Department. Our staff are interacting with a lot of different people throughout each day. And, you know, if we didn't have hundreds of people coming in and out of the library every day, it would be a little less of a concern. But because so many people use the library and use our services, we really need to make sure that we're not exposed.
Great Falls Public Library encourages people to call or email with any questions and to follow them on social media for updates. Well, it's been about a month and a half since Montana movie theaters were allowed to reopen. While some box offices remain boarded up, others are gladly sharing their screens. MTN's Tim McGonigal takes us to one small town where the big picture is back.
On a Saturday summer night, people in Conrad, Montana are returning to a sense of normalcy by going to the movies.
We reopened June 5th, and the movie that we showed was Jaws.
Although Montana theaters were given the go-ahead to open May 15th, the historic Orpheum Theater waited a while to draw the curtain.
We just felt, as a group, maybe waiting till June to kind of see, how others fared, and it looks like we all pretty much fared about the same.
Milk chocolate M&Ms.
So far, the crowds have been what they expected, about 35 to 40 people per weekend. Before COVID, the crowds were about 60 to 65 per weekend. The stay-at-home order gave the crew an opportunity to perform a deep clean, including the difficult task of cleaning the theater's chandelier. In preparation for reopening, they strictly adhere to health department guidelines, including safe social distancing.
We've divided out the rows, every other row. We do have a couple of handicap accessible chairs, so I wanted to make sure that those rows were left open.
The Orpheum has been a part of Conrad's history for more than 100 years. And ironically, it opened the first time during the height of a pandemic.
The theater was built in 1918, and as a string of Orpheum theaters, across the country, that seemed to be the general name. When it was purchased by the Ponderay Arts Council, it was in pretty sad condition. The ceiling was falling in, the roof needed to be replaced.
A generous grant from the Wiegand Foundation funded renovation of the current Art Deco style and included a stage expansion.
So in 2012, we went digital.
Movies are the main attraction, but other cultural events add to the Orpheum's intrigue.
Musical performers, Ponderay players to do plays on the theater, Shakespeare in the Park, Missoula Children's Theater.
While moviegoers anxiously await the new releases, they're still giving 2 thumbs up to some new classics.
Yeah, you guys excited to see the movies?
Yes.
Maybe COVID isn't the showstopper we thought it was. In Conrad, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
The theater did have to furlough some employees for about a month. They did receive a payroll protection grant, and due to adhering to safety guidelines, have actually hired some additional staff.
While so many of us are preoccupied these days with getting sick from the coronavirus, health experts are also reminding us this is the time of year we should be thinking about food safety. I'm Laura Podesta with what you should know if you're picnicking or barbecuing.
Well, as we go throughout the day today, by 9 a.m., 60 degrees, sunny skies with clouds build in for a chance for isolated severe thunderstorms. And not only for us, but also for Helena, too. By 9 a.m., 61 degrees, a better chance for showers and thunderstorms this evening.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. You're looking live over the capital city. It is Friday. We're heading into the holiday weekend. We're so glad to have you with us. Time now is 5:13. With many of us spending more time outdoors during the past few months to maintain social distancing, health experts are reminding everyone about the importance of food safety if you're picnicking or barbecuing. CBS's Laura Podesta has more on how to prevent getting sick.
Sherri Kenney is preparing a barbecue feast with her husband.
I grill. He gets the gas for me, but I'm the one who loves to be out here.
She says most days of spring and summer you can find her grilling.
Hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken, and I do some shish kebabs.
While this time of year is popular for picnics and cookouts, health officials caution foodborne illnesses spike in part from the hotter temperatures.
There's bacteria in the food, and even if you cook it, we have what we call spore-forming bacteria, and so it survives the heat, and these can start growing. And so at a higher temperature, the bacteria grow much faster, so your risk increases.
Dr. Mindy Brashears oversees food safety at the U.S. Department of Agriculture. She says keep foods cold until you're ready to cook them, and use a food thermometer to make sure meats are cooked to the right internal temperature.
Don't rely on color. Color is a poor indicator. So use that thermometer, make sure it's cooked, and then put it on a clean surface, a clean plate, or other cutting board or something before you bring it in to serve.
And once you're done eating, get everything back into the fridge quickly.
If you're outside and it's like 90 degrees, the bacteria grow even faster. So we say get it back inside within an hour.
Sherri does all the food prep inside the house and pays attention to cross-contamination.
Cutting boards have to be very, very clean. You don't put meat where you put vegetables. That's a big no.
She says a safely prepared dinner makes everything more delicious. Laura Podesta, CBS News.
The CDC estimates 48 million people actually get sick every year from foodborne diseases in the U.S. Around 3,000 people actually die. Independence Day weekend, usually one of the busiest travel weekends across the nation, and AAA reports summer travel this year will be down almost 15% from last year. This includes travel, but not just by car, but bus, rail, and even cruise ship. Summer road trips, though, are still strong here in the U.S. AAA predicts road trips to destinations both near and far will only be down about 3% from last year. Overall, it's expected Americans will take 683 million road trips this summer. No doubt a few of those will make their way here in Montana to our many parks, mountains, and forests. Allegiant Air is joining the long list of airlines that now require passengers to wear a mask. That rule is now being enforced. It comes after complaints from some customers. Allegiant's new mask requirement will start at check-in and end when customers leave the gate area. The airline says it will provide a mask for passengers who don't have one. Coronavirus, of course, has thrown a wrench into some Independence Day celebrations. The Great Falls 4th of July parade has been canceled. The Black Eagle Community Center, though, is moving forward with their parade and celebration. It starts at noon on Saturday at the Black Eagle Community Center. It'll look a little bit different here. Organizers say it will be a reverse parade. The annual fireworks show in Great Falls will also still happen. In an effort, though, to limit crowd size, 2 shows will happen simultaneously, one at West Bank Park, one at Centene Stadium. Both begin at 10:30. And a heads up for you as you're driving around tomorrow, West Bank Park and Elks Riverside Park will be closed starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, as well as River Drive from 1st Ave North to 6th Street. That'll be closed all day, too. In Great Falls, fireworks are allowed within city limits from 8 a.m. to midnight through July 4th. They should be set off on private property, and there are some fines starting at around $100 if those rules aren't followed. In Helena, fireworks are not allowed to be set off within city limits. They are legal, though, in the county from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m., July 2nd through the 6th. And you can find more details, check out specifics of these events and those fireworks regulations right now on our website. Grant?
I don't know about you, Shan, but I was woken up by those fireworks at around 11 o'clock. It was fantastic. Let's go ahead, though, and take a look at our temperatures. 44 degrees right now in the Electric City. Clouds are off towards Billings and Jordan that are moving off towards the northeast. Now, if you are going to go golfing today, first off, I would love to go with you. Temperatures starting off 61 degrees for tee time around 9 a.m. By 12 p.m., 74. 3 p.m. starting to introduce a chance for isolated showers and thunderstorms. And same with Helena, isolated storms by 3 p.m. Some of them could be severe. Good morning to you. I hope that you are ready for a beautiful Friday. In terms of mostly sunny skies, we will have to deal with some isolated severe thunderstorms possible all the way from Helena out to Havre. Now, if you are around the Glasgow and Scobie area, then you will have a better chance to see some scattered possible severe thunderstorms. The main threats will be damaging wind gusts, hail possible, and frequent lightning. Now, looking outside, look at this. Isn't that beautiful? That's a great way to start off your day. Great Falls. We are around the upper 40s, around 49 degrees. Helena, 50 degrees. Fort Benton, 48. And Lewistown, kind of, ooh, that looks kind of ominous. I don't know. 51 degrees, but don't worry, the sun will come up. 45 degrees in Cut Bank, 49 in Lewistown, 52 in Glasgow, and 59 in Jordan. Overall, wind speeds not looking at anything that is sticking out. West winds around 7 miles an hour up towards Cut Bank. Why are we expecting the weather we are today? It's because of a high pressure that is really helping suppress any rising motion. So we're going to be looking at a mostly sunny day. It will be nice. Now, the farther east you go, why are we seeing those clouds right now? And in the south central Montana moving towards the northeast, it's because of the stationary front that is allowing for that moisture to stick with us. Now, we are looking at the beautiful weather for us all the way from Cut Bank to Havre. Not seeing any problems there. But the problem does come to mention as we head throughout the day. By around 4 p.m., we're going to start to see clouds building into the area, showers and thunderstorms possible, some of which could be severe. Right around 6:30, that's the time that I think that we're going to actually start to see our chances rise. As we head throughout the evening, 8:30 p.m., looking at some thunderstorms that are starting to become organized with the flow, but we will see them quickly move out. By around 6 a.m. tomorrow, beautiful start to our day. However, though, as we go throughout the early afternoon, clouds will start to be brought back in. We're going to be looking at the possibility for some severe weather right around 6:30 in the afternoon as the flow starts to move towards the northeast. Right around 9 p.m. too, looking at some possible severe strong thunderstorms. Again, the main threats will be damaging wind gusts and hail. So if you're going to plan to watch the fireworks, maybe make sure that you have that umbrella with you. By around 11 p.m., the stronger storms move off towards Havre and Glasgow before hightailing it out towards Canada. So tomorrow, we do have the chance for severe weather in the afternoon through the evening, damaging wind gusts, hail possible, and frequent lightning for all of us in our viewing area. So heads up on that. As far as our wind gusts are concerned, not really seeing any problems today. 10 to 20 mile per hour winds in Helena as well as Cut Bank and Havre for around lunchtime. So have the cup on the napkin so that way it doesn't blow away like it happened to me the other day. The temperatures today, 86 degrees in Havre, 82 in Lewistown, 83 in Great Falls. Overall today, we're going to be looking at the chance for isolated severe thunderstorms in the afternoon as well as tomorrow, looking at a better chance for that. And so heads up, have that umbrella with you. We will continue to have the chance for isolated severe thunderstorms possible for the next 2 days, and then a chance for thunderstorms each and every day from now through Wednesday, especially for our friends in Helena. Shannon.
All right, Grant, thank you. Time now is 5:23. Still to come on Montana this morning. Pinto, garbanzo, lima, whatever your favorite. We're talking about beans coming up next.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Thanks for sticking with us. Time now 5:25. Today is the day to chow down on the legume you love best for National Eat Your Beans Day. It doesn't matter if it's chick, red, pinto, or lima. July 3rd celebrates them all, and there are about 40,000 varieties to choose from.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, beans are actually one of the longest cultivated plants. They're a big source of protein, folate, iron, and fiber. And one of the healthiest is chickpeas, also known as garbanzo
beans. Is that what they make hummus out of?
You know what? Your guess is as good as mine.
Not a hummus person.
Not a hummus person, but I mean bougie, garbanzo.
Yeah, garbanzo. It's quite the name. Yeah. Yep, the fiber. Lots of fiber in beans.
I know. Well, and I need to really expand my taste palette because they dry my mouth out.
Yeah. Well, what about, do you like chili? Do you like them in chili?
Nope, I actually,
Striking out here.
No
Just
hummus, give me some sweet tea and some fried chicken and we're good.
All right.
I know that was a little southern
He's
drawl.
Southern, can you tell? Yeah.
Lord help us. All right, well, we are looking at today's high, getting up to around 83 in Great Falls, 86 in Havre. The farther east you go out to Glasgow, ooh, 90 degrees, not feeling that. No, thank you. And with Wolf Point, we're also looking at temperatures looking at around 90 degrees now. But what about for tonight's lows? Well, we are expecting temperatures to fall down to around 52 degrees in Great Falls, 53 in Lewistown, and around 63 in Glasgow. As far as our temperatures go for the next couple of days, we will see the 80s, the low 80s, if only we could go back in that time, dang. 77 though on Sunday. Keep in mind we will see the chance for isolated severe thunderstorms today and tomorrow. I know that kind of puts a damper on us for our July the 4th, but hey, don't worry, we'll all get through it together. A better chance for showers and thunderstorms down towards Helena. Temperatures a little bit cooler than we are with isolated thunderstorms from now through Wednesday.
All right, don't go away. Montana This Morning continues right after this. Coming up this half hour, the governor responds to increased cases of COVID in the state. We'll hear what he and a top business official have to say. Plus, Lesson Plan will look at what the next school year could hold for Montana students and families. And later, Zoo Montana gets a new member. He's on his way, just very slowly. Montana This Morning starts now.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you. We're so glad to have you with us to kick off this holiday weekend. I'm Shannon New.
And I'm Grant Garland. It's been a beautiful start to our day.
It is. We were just admiring the sunrise on the iCam a minute ago, and Grant pointed out that it looks like the start of The Lion King.
Exactly.
So I don't know if I'm brave enough to try to...
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, we need some help.
No,
that's what it looks like.
That'll get you out and about. At least it does for me. Well, we do have a chance for isolated severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hour. So heads up if you are planning on going out to maybe the dirt track later on tonight or any activities outside, just heads up. And unfortunately, tomorrow we also have to deal with the possibility for some severe weather, and that's going to include pretty much all of Montana, at least for the north central towards the eastern parts. Hail is possible along frequent lightning. Now, currently outside temperatures are in the 40s, around 44 degrees in Great Falls, 45 in Cutbank. Head on out to Glasgow, though, 52 degrees, and also 51 degrees in Helena. Now, as far as what our headlines are concerned of, well, today we are going to start off mostly sunny. Clouds will build into the area, though, for isolated severe thunderstorms possible today as well as the 4th. And we are looking at the chance for scattered storms from now through Wednesday. And as you walk out the door throughout the rest of the day, not seeing really any problems with our winds gusting only to 10 to 20 miles an hour, and depending where you're at in Cutbank as well as in Helena. Shannon.
Thank you, Grant. We'll see you in a little bit. Time now is 5:31. Montana continues to reach milestones when it comes to coronavirus numbers. This week, the Treasure State surpassed the 1,000 confirmed cases mark. And Thursday's 67 cases are a record since reports began back in March. There's also been a 23rd death from the virus in the state, a person in Bighorn County. Montana has 373 active cases right now. More than 700 people have recovered. In a press conference on Thursday, the governor says he's worried Montanans are letting their guards down. He said that 6 weddings and their related gatherings have led to at least 24 cases and impacted 2 other states. The governor said people need to avoid large gatherings, or if they're around other people, wear masks. Bullock said he'd like to have masks become socially accepted rather than a requirement. The president of the Montana Chamber of Commerce also appeared alongside the governor at a Capitol News conference and said many businesses are calling on people to increase their use of masks in public. Todd O'Hare said the business community doesn't want Montana to follow in the footsteps of some other states that have had to reinstate closures.
Government grants, low-interest loans, business bailout dollars cannot compare to healthy economic activity. Businesses will not be able to survive in Montana without a healthy economic activity in the state. And healthy economic activity is founded on a healthy population.
We don't have to be like these other states and take steps backwards if we again raise our guard. And one of the most important ways we can raise that guard is to make wearing a mask a habit and normalized.
And the governor's office released a set of guidelines for Montana public schools to follow as they consider how to reopen this fall amidst COVID-19. But so did the state superintendent of public instruction, and she's not exactly happy about the double set of plans. Early Thursday afternoon, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arntzen, a Republican, released a 40-page set of guidelines on how schools may reopen this fall. Within the hour, however, Democrat Lieutenant Governor Mike Kenney unveiled a separate set of reopening recommendations developed by the governor's office. Arntzen told MTN that she spoke with Kenney 3 weeks ago and told him that officials should have a unified plan. She says the governor's office going ahead on its own is a, quote, poor way of doing government. However, she says she'll include the governor's recommendations with information she sends out to school districts this summer. Governor Bullock said since he had given the directive to close schools back in March, he thought it was important for his office to issue guidelines on reopening. Both documents are a list of recommendations that school districts can choose to follow as they decide how and whether to reopen this fall. Earlier this week, Governor Bullock and said the state had several clusters of COVID-19 linked to large gatherings and some weddings. The pandemic has led many couples to question plans around their own wedding day. MTN's Jessica Nelson spoke with several people about their decision to move forward or delay their special day.
Just because it's your wedding day doesn't mean that the virus is going to take a break.
Planning a wedding takes time, patience, and detail. But planning a wedding during a global pandemic?
There was a whole bunch of unknowns.
There was so much unknown.
Of course, there had to be decisions that had to be made right away.
Cedric and Kayla Hewitt tied the knot on June 20th as a new wave of the coronavirus was just starting to hit the state.
Obviously, it'd be a little awkward if we told people 3 days beforehand, oh yeah, we can't do this.
Allie Robbins and her husband Jamie faced the same tough decision.
I thought, oh, this will for sure be over by June, and it kept getting worse. We were just trying to decide if we wanted to cancel or not. I didn't really want to because, I just wanted to move forward in life.
Both couples tell me they consulted state health guidelines that called for strict social distancing. They kept their weddings to fewer than 150 people and chose venues where they could spread out or be outdoors.
It was outside, and we had a bunch of hand sanitizer and masks provided, and so it turned out really, really great, and I'm really glad we did it. So
it was also kind of inspiring to me too, because despite the whole COVID thing going right now, we're still able to have our wedding. We're still able to have family, friends there. Do a couple of guidelines, of course.
But one bride-to-be I spoke with is choosing to delay her Montana wedding.
We talked about maybe, doing it in August or September, but at the end of the day, I don't see it going away that fast. And I would rather just wait and not have to worry about it, and not people in our bridal party and family feel pressured to put themselves in a situation that's not safe. So
in Helena, Jessica Nelson, MTN News.
Time now is 5:36. Coming up on Montana This Morning, ready to hit the gridiron. We'll take a look at the Frontier Conference schedule coming up next.
Well, and for our friends in Fort Benton, we're going to be warming up to around 62 degrees by 9 a.m. And then as we head down towards our temperatures for around 12 p.m., 74 degrees, 81 though by 3 p.m. Only looking at a slight chance for a shower. For our friends in Lewistown, better chance for showers around 2 p.m., 79 degrees by around 5 p.m., warming up into around 77.
Welcome. Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. Just a beautiful start to our Friday morning. It is July 2nd. We're heading into the holiday weekend, and we're glad to have you with us. Time now is 5:39. Of course, coronavirus has thrown a wrench in some of those 4th of July celebrations. The parade for Great Falls has been canceled. The Black Eagle Community Center, though, is going forward with their parade and celebration. It starts at noon on Saturday at the Black Eagle Community Center. It'll look a little bit different this year. Organizers say it will be a reverse parade. The annual fireworks show in Great Falls will also still happen, but in an effort to limit crowd size, 2 shows will go on simultaneously, one at West Bank Park, one at Centene Stadium. Both of those start at 10:30. And a heads up, if you're out and about driving tomorrow, West Bank Park, Elks, Riverside Park will all be closed starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, and River Drive from 1st Avenue North to 6th Street will also be closed all day. In Great Falls, fireworks are allowed within city limits from 8 a.m. till midnight through the 4th of July. They should be set off on private property, and there are some fines starting at $100 if rules aren't followed. In Helena, fireworks are not allowed to be set off within city limits. They're legal, though, within the county from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. through July 6th. Well, lots of changes will be coming to this year's college football season, and MTN's Dom Tibbetts tells us how one of the league's favorites is ready to roll with the punches.
When the NAIA and the Frontier Conference announced an 8-game football season this year, the reaction from Montana Tech head coach Kyle Sampson was exactly what you would have expected.
That's my biggest thing is, hey, I'm excited that there's a schedule and we have a season. And we're excited to get going on August 15th.
August 15th will be the first day as mandated by the NAIA. Coach Sampson and the rest of his staff will be able to hold an organized practice with his players. But in the meantime, Sampson has praised his team for leading their own practices to make sure when the time comes to hit the field, there's no setbacks.
You know, I think it's going to pay dividends in the end, though, when you got guys that are taking the initiative this summer to make sure the guys are working out and getting everybody here working out in the mornings. You know, I think it's going to be a really good thing for our leadership and for our kids to really understand, you know, what it takes to be a leader every single day.
Montana Tech's first game of the season will be September 12th at home against MSU Northern. But for right now, Coach Sampson and his staff are focusing on the tasks that lie ahead of them.
Really, right now, it's just day to day. We're just trying to take it one day at a time and getting as prepared as we possibly can be, knowing that it could all change.
Safety for players, the coaching staff, and the fans are still at the forefront of Montana Tech's priorities. The administration is currently working on developing a plan that could still get fans into the walls of Bob Green Field. However, the option to limit attendance is most certainly on the table. But that may just be the price to pay to suit up the pads and hit the field this fall.
I think all of our kids right now, they're definitely going to be a little disappointed that they're not going to have 10,000 people or 5,000 people in the stands, but I think they all just want to play.
In Butte, Dom Tibbetts, MTN Sports.
Well, good morning, everyone. Heading out the door, temperatures are around 44 degrees in the Electric City, down towards Capitol 51. Clouds are moving from Billings off towards Williston, and we are looking at the next couple of days being a little bit medium for pollen count. So heads up, if you're like me, make sure you take that Allegra because you're going to need it. And then if you are going outside, well, know that the kids are going to need to put on that sunscreen. Looking at very high conditions, 15 minutes of bird time. Make sure that you do not look like a lobster. Good morning, everyone. Hope that you're ready for a beautiful start to our day. We do have the chance for some isolated severe thunderstorms moving in later on this afternoon, right around and into the really early evening hours. So around 6:30 p.m. is really when I think that we're going to start to see storms move into our neck of the woods. But damaging wind gusts, hail is possible, and frequent lightning. Well, that's always expected. And also, if this doesn't want to make you shout the beginning of The Lion King, then I do not know what does. It does. It's beautiful though out there. All the colors, the contrast. We are looking at temperatures around 44 degrees here in the Electric City, 50 degrees out towards Helena, 51 in Lewistown. The sun is starting to peek out there. In Fort Benton, 48 degrees. Elsewhere, we are looking at similar temperatures, 49 degrees in Havre, 52 in Glasgow, 59 out in Jordan. Out towards Missoula, 46 degrees. And with our wind speeds, we aren't really looking at any problems anywhere, so that's the good news. Looking at only a northeast wind at around 6 miles an hour in Glasgow. Why are we though seeing the weather that we are? It's because of two things, really. High pressure off towards northwestern part of the state, suppressing any rising air motion, so we're allowed to see that sun rise beautifully. The farther east you go out, though, you're going to start to have to interact with that stationary boundary, allowing for the moisture to stick around. That's why we're seeing some clouds out and about. for those around Jordan. As we head, though, throughout the next couple of hours, we are expecting to at least see mostly sunny skies, but then the afternoon starts to wane on. By around 4:30 p.m., showers start to push up from around Bozeman and Billings into our neck of the woods. We're going to be looking at chances for the isolated severe thunderstorms to increase as we head throughout the afternoon. A better chance for those in Helena to see that, though, by around 8:30, looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms around our neck of the woods. We're going to, though, see those conditions leave us for a mostly clear night. We're going to start the whole thing back over tomorrow for the 4th of July. As we head throughout the early afternoon, 2 p.m., starting to see a few showers between Cut Bank and Great Falls. As the clouds, though, start to build in, we will see our chances also increase for scattered showers and thunderstorms to become possibly severe right around 9 p.m. too. So if you are planning on lighting those fireworks, it looks like the worst chance to light fireworks later on in the evening will be for those in Havre as well as Glasgow and north of Lewistown, where we'll be probably in the realm of possibility to see at least a good fireworks show here in the Electric City. But for our temperatures, 86 degrees today in Havre, 83 in Great Falls, 82 in Lewistown. Tonight's lows temperatures falling down to around 52 in Great Falls, 53 in Lewistown, 58 in Havre, and 60 in Malta. Today's high, 83 degrees, only looking at a 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms for the Electric City. 50% though, tomorrow we will see our chances for showers and thunderstorms increase. We are expecting a chance for isolated thunderstorms each and every day of the work week coming up through Wednesday, as the temperatures are going to stay right around the average for this time of year. For our friends in Helena, looking at a better chance for severe weather possible today as well as tomorrow. Shannon.
Grant, thank you. It's 5:49 now. Still to come on Montana this morning, a slow journey to a new home. We'll meet the newest member of the Zoo Montana crew.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. Happy Friday to you. Time now is 5:51. Take a look at the new animal making his way to Zoo Montana very slowly. It's an 18-month-old male two-toed sloth.
Now, this sloth, this slow but steady traveler, only goes about 41 yards per day, so he is not expected here in Billings till later this summer. He doesn't have a name yet, but he does have an Instagram account where you can follow his leisurely journey to the zoo. For a link to his Instagram, head to our website.
I think I'm going to, one, I'm sure the sloth already has more followers than I do. Two, is he just crawling by himself to the zoo? I'm a little confused.
I have no idea. I don't know.
I'll have to go to Instagram and check out his journey.
But what would his name be if you could name him?
Oh boy.
I threw you on the spot on that.
Yeah, you did. I'm not good with that. Slothy.
Slothy? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a good, another name, another adjective to describe slow. And it just not happening, not coming in my brain this morning.
Pietro. I don't know where that came up. Pietro.
Going very.
There he is.
Wow. I like it. There you go.
I'm telling you.
Submit that name.
There it is. Pietro, well, his forecast today is 86 degrees in Havre. I don't know where that came from. 90 in Glasgow, 83 in Great Falls, as well as Helena, 79 in White Sulphur Springs. And we are looking at our temperatures falling down to around 52 degrees here in the Electric City, 53 in the capital, 58 in Havre, 60 in Malta, and 63 in Glasgow. Overall, though, Shannon, we are looking at severe thunderstorms possible this afternoon, as well as a better chance for tomorrow. And that might affect some folks as they want to fire off those firecrackers, especially around 10 to 11 p.m. And we will even have a better chance for severe thunderstorms possible in Helena. So heads up, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you know what? We're all going to get through this together, and just don't hold the firecracker. Seen too many instances at Myrtle Beach. Don't do it.
Ooh, don't do it. Good
Have
advice
that umbrella.
there.
That's it. Pretend like you're Mary Poppins.
Stay with us. Your Farm and Ranch Report with the Montana Ag Network is next. Coming up this half hour, the governor responds to increased cases of COVID in the state. We'll hear what he and a top business official have to say. Plus, lesson plan, we look at what the next school year could hold for Montana students and families. And later, we have a big weekend of birthdays and anniversaries to celebrate. Montana This Morning starts now.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's News Leader.
Good morning. We're glad to have you with us on this Friday. I'm Shannon Newth. This isn't Jason.
Nope, I'm Grant.
In case you couldn't tell, yeah.
From South Kakalaki, South Carolina.
Oh.
It's not, yeah.
South Kakalaki?
South Kakalaki, it's something else. I got my
That's fun
sweet
to
tea over
say.
yonder and I'm ready to go.
Yes. He's been such a good sport coming in. How was
Trying to keep
that
the
1
morale
a.m.
up.
alarm or whatever?
Oh, well, I mean, my alarm was off at 11 p.m. because of the fireworks last night.
Yeah, you know, that happened to me too.
Goodness.
I think between it being light and then all the fireworks, I think kept waking up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, my 3 melatonin did not
kick in.
Did
Oh,
not
boy.
kick in. My goodness. We do have a chance for those some isolated severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hours. Damaging wind gusts, hail is possible, and frequent lightning also. So heads up if you do have any events that you're going out to, you might want to just have a backup plan just in case. Also for the 4th, we are looking at the chance for severe weather as well, a better chance rather for those in Helena as well as here in Great Falls. And this is going to start in the afternoon and really last to around 10 to 11:30 depending on where you're at, and we'll go over that later on. Temperatures right now 45 degrees in Great Falls, 50 degrees in Helena, 49 in Lewistown as well as Hever. So you might need a light jacket if you're sensitive to the cooler air. Looking at 58 in Jordan. And for our headlines today, we are looking at mostly sunny skies, but we will have that chance for isolated thunderstorms moving in this afternoon. Shannon.
Grant, thanks. We'll see you in a little bit. Time now is 6:01. Montana continues to reach milestones when it comes to coronavirus numbers. This week, the Treasure State surpassed the 1,000 confirmed cases mark, and Thursday's 67 cases are a record since reports began back in March. There has also been a 23rd death from coronavirus in the state, a person in Bighorn County. Montana has 373 active cases right now. More than 700 people have now recovered. In a press conference on Thursday, the governor says he's worried Montanans are letting their guards down. He said 6 weddings and their related gatherings have led to at least 24 cases and also impacted 2 other states. The governor said people need to avoid large gatherings or, if they are around other people, to wear masks. Bullock said he'd like it to become a socially accepted necessity rather than a requirement. The president of the Montana Chamber of Commerce also appeared alongside the governor at that news conference and said many businesses are calling on people to increase their use of masks in public. Todd O'Hare said the business community doesn't want Montana to follow in the footsteps of other states that have had to reinstate closures of some establishments.
Government grants, low interest loans, business bailout dollars cannot compare to healthy economic activity. Businesses will not be able to survive in Montana without a healthy economic activity in the state. And healthy economic activity is founded on a healthy population.
We don't have to be like these other states and take steps backwards if we again raise our guard. And one of the most important ways we can raise that guard is to make wearing a mask a habit and normalized.
Bullock said he's still hopeful that Montana can keep its number of cases from increasing greatly or even decline in the not too distant future. Meanwhile, the governor's office released a set of guidelines for Montana public schools to follow as they consider how to reopen this fall amidst coronavirus. But so did the state superintendent of public instruction, and she's not exactly happy about this double set of plans. Early Thursday afternoon, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arntzen released a 40-page set of guidelines on how schools may reopen this fall. Then, within the hour, Lieutenant Governor Mike Cooney unveiled a separate set of reopening recommendations developed by the governor's office. Arntzen told us that she spoke with Cooney about 3 weeks ago and told him that officials should have a unified plan. She says the governor's office going ahead on its own is, quote, a poor way of doing government. However, she says she'll include the governor's recommendations with information she sends out to school districts this summer. Governor Bullock said since he's been given the directive to close schools back in March, he thought it was important for his office to then issue guidelines on reopening. Both documents are a list of recommendations that school districts can choose to follow as they decide how and whether to reopen this fall. The looming fear of coronavirus can take a toll on mental health and even those of good mental and physical health. So for those recovering from addiction and their support staff, coronavirus can be triggering. MTN's Lindsay Hyatt met with 2 Great Falls addiction centers to discuss how recovery centers and patients have managed to move forward from coronavirus setbacks.
For most places of business, closed doors are mainly a financial stressor. But for independently owned recovery centers, changes in operation cause emotional and physical stresses as well.
Everybody was locked at home, and mental health issues, addiction issues, abuse issues. I mean, everything was going sky high.
While patient accountability was getting low.
When COVID hit, our no-show rate went to, in some aspects, 50%.
After switching to telehealth, Gateway Community Services saw fewer patients and smaller profits.
We were getting paid 50% of what we're used to, but they still have all the same costs.
Fortunately, not all recovery centers closed. Seeking Recovery LLC tried to maintain operations as usual.
We had to disband groups, but we remained open. We remained open for face-to-face contact, face-to-face counseling.
These in-person services helped patients continue on their path to recovery and improved business. Both centers said since COVID, there's been a significant increase in patients.
We're full, and we get more every day coming through the door.
There's been an influx of people calling and walking right off the street.
Likely due to lack of accountability and other anxiety-inducing factors many addicts faced during COVID.
A lot of people have not only drug addiction but mental illness, and so that isolation really affects them. It also gives them the opportunity to, if there's no accountability, to go ahead and use.
Should coronavirus cases increase, the centers will continue to guide their patients through recovery.
What a perfect opportunity to teach them how to go through something without using, then actually walking them through the event as it's happening.
In Great Falls,
there's other ways to deal with stuff.
Lindsay Hyatt.
We're all in this together.
MTN News.
Morning, a Browning woman was charged with 1 count of murder in the stabbing death of Waylon Lee Bittens. Officers conducted a welfare check back on June 2nd after family members had not heard from Mittens in several days. They found the body in the home he shared with Danielle Marie Marceau. On June 3rd, officers received information that Marceau was responsible for the death of Mittens and arrested her at her mother's house. Marceau made several incriminating statements to the FBI agents, saying, quote, "I stabbed him." She's been charged in federal court with 1 felony count of murder. Statistics from the Montana Highway Patrol show July and August are the deadliest months on Montana's roadways. Back in 2019, 49 people lost their lives in Montana crashes. MTN's Phoenix O'Connor looked at what people hitting the highways can do to stay safe this summer.
It's 4th of July weekend. I understand you might be thinking about getting out of town. One of the most popular choices is hitting the roadways on a good old-fashioned road trip. So here's just some safety reminders on how to stay safe on the roadways.
Right now we're sitting at 85 fatalities in the state of Montana just now. That's 10% over where we were last year. That's a huge increase. We look at those 4 days of the 4th of July, we average over 130 crashes, 4 fatalities, upwards of 35 DUIs that'll occur across the state in those 4 days.
Of course, with the 4th of July week coming up, we're right in the middle of that. And the top 3 contributing factors to fatalities and serious injuries and crashes in Montana are consistently impaired driving, lack of seatbelts, and vehicles leaving the road.
As I always tell everybody, it's the cheapest life insurance you'll ever get by just clicking that seatbelt.
MHP troopers will also be looking out for speeders on the highway.
Montana's a great place to live. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Slow down and enjoy.
Consistently, impaired driving is involved in about 60% of the fatal crashes.
If you do happen to see someone driving that you may think is impaired, call 911.
Give the description of the vehicle. If they can get a license plate. Never put yourself in danger, meaning if someone is traveling in an erratic manner, don't try to copy them and follow them where they're going.
And if you do happen to have a little too many drinks.
Car at the bar, don't drink and drive. Don't endanger yourself or others.
Using a rideshare companies is another option, or ask your bartender if the bar participates in a home-free program. In Helena, Phoenix O'Connor, MTN News.
It's 6:09 now on your Friday. Coming up on Montana this morning, coronavirus and holiday travel. We'll check out some trends ahead of the 4th of July weekend.
Well, as we go throughout the morning for Cut Bank, temperature is going to rise up to around 64 degrees by 10 a.m. A few clouds will be introduced into the forecast right around 4 p.m. And for our friends in Havre, around 54 degrees and 7 a.m. And then we're going to be looking at a chance for clouds moving back in around 4 p.m.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. It's a beautiful sunny start to our Friday and the holiday weekend. We're glad to have you with us. Time now is 6:12. Well, Independence Day weekend, as we've been talking about, is usually one of the busiest travel weekends in the nation. AAA is reporting that summer travel this year will be down almost 15% from last year. This includes travel not just by car, but also by bus or train, even cruise ship. Summer road trips, though, are still going strong. AAA predicts road trips to destinations both near and far will only be down about 3% from last year. Overall, it's expected Americans will take 683 million road trips this summer. No doubt a few of those will make their way to us here in Montana, to our parks, mountains, and forests. Coronavirus has thrown a wrench in some Independence Day celebrations. The Great Falls 4th of July parade has been canceled. The Black Eagle Community Center is going forward with their parade and celebration. That all starts at noon on Saturday at the Black Eagle Community Center. It'll look a little bit different this year. Organizers say it will be a reverse parade. The annual fireworks show in Great Falls will also still happen in an effort to limit crowd size. There will be two shows happening at the same time, one at West Bank Park, one at Centene Stadium. Both of those begin at 10:30 p.m. And a heads up for you as you're out and about tomorrow, West Bank Park and Elks Riverside Park will be closed starting at 6 o'clock in the morning. River Drive from 1st Avenue North to 6th Street will also be closed all day. In Great Falls, fireworks are allowed within city limits from 8 a.m. till midnight through July 4th. They should be set off on private property, and there are some fines starting at about $100 if those rules aren't followed. Meanwhile, in Helena, fireworks are not allowed to be set off within city limits. They are legal in the county from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. through July 6th.
Good morning, everybody. As you're walking out the door, temperatures are going to be around 45 degrees in the Electric City, 50 degrees in Helena. Clouds are staying off towards the east as they rise up towards Jordan around 58 degrees. If you are going out golfing, well, again, please take me. I would love to go. Tee time is going to be around at 9 a.m., 61 degrees. I'll be there promptly. 12 p.m., 74, 82 degrees by 3 p.m. Know that you're going to need to have that sunscreen with you because we're looking at around 9 very high, 15 minutes of burn time. Welcome back, everybody. Good morning. I hope that you are ready for a beautiful start. I mean, the sun is out. It really feels nice outside, but we do have the chance for isolated severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening hours. And I mean, really, this encompasses everybody from Helena out towards Havre, out then towards Glasgow, as well as Scobie. We could be looking at damaging wind gusts as well as hail is possible, and well, frequent lightning too. That's going to be associated with any storm. We are looking at, just take a look at this. I mean, it's almost like the Teletubby sun where you expect for a baby's face to be right there laughing. I don't know. Just trying to get through this morning, guys. Great Falls temperatures are in the 40s. Helena 51 degrees, Fort Benton 48, and out towards Lewistown 50 degrees. Elsewhere, we're seeing 44 degrees in Cut Bank, 49 in Havre. A little bit warmer though as you head on out towards Glasgow at 53, and right around 60 degrees for our friends in Jordan. And our winds haven't really changed hardly at all. We're looking at around a 5-mile-per-hour wind out of the west in Helena. Now, the reason why we're seeing the nice sunny skies for our area is because of a high pressure that has suppressed any rising air into the atmosphere. So we're looking at beautiful skies here. But if you take a trip out towards the east around Jordan, well, we have that stationary boundary right there allowing for the moisture to kind of hang around. And we're also seeing a few showers that are sticking around the front because of that. So now for our neck of the woods, again, not seeing any problems from Havre down to Great Falls to Helena, looking at beautiful sunny skies, but that will change as we go into the afternoon. By around 4 p.m. we start to see showers making their way up towards the area. By around 6:30 p.m. some of us around Lewistown could be looking at scattered showers and thunderstorms, some of which could be severe. And then by around 8:30 We start to see the moisture push off towards Glasgow. Tomorrow, we are looking at a beautiful start to our day, but then again, by around 2 p.m., clouds are going to start building in. Some of us could already be looking at rain, and then we're going to start to see showers and thunderstorms, some of which do become stronger, especially around 8:30 p.m. Our models are suggesting we're going to be looking at a strong thunderstorm there around Great Falls. Quickly moves out though, but then as it does so, it does kind of grow in size from Havre out to Glasgow and Lewistown, and that way will push off into Canada in the overnight hours. So heads up, if you are looking at firing fireworks tomorrow, just know that we could be looking at the chance for isolated severe thunderstorms too, with hail possible, looking at possibly quarter-sized hail, as well as damaging wind gusts with probably 60-mile-per-hour winds. Today's highs: 82 in Lewistown, 89 in Malta, 79 in Cutbank, and 83 in Great Falls. For our lows, temperatures will fall down to around 52 degrees in the Electric City, 51 in Shodo. Head on out to Malta, 60 degrees, and a little bit warmer out towards Glasgow at 63. We will keep that chance for showers and thunderstorms today and tomorrow before slightly falling down on Sunday to only be built back up on Monday, as well as on Tuesday and even on Wednesday. And that's really the same situation with our friends in Helena, except a better chance for showers and thunderstorms today as well as tomorrow. Shannon?
All right, thanks, Grant. It's now 6:20 and still to come here on Montana This Morning. We're going to be celebrating your birthdays and anniversaries heading into the weekend. Stay with us.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Happy Friday, too, as we head into this holiday weekend. Time now is 6:25, and let's dive right in. We have a lot of birthdays to celebrate today and into the weekend. So first, we want to say happy birthday to Shandy Dryland, celebrating a birthday on this Friday. It says, happy birthday, Shandy. Love you, Dad, Mom, and Levi. Also want to wish a happy birthday to Mason and Letty Minot. I hope I'm saying that right. Have a great birthday, a super fantastic day. Love Grandma and Papa. So happy birthday to the two of you. Also wishing a happy birthday on this Friday to Austin Meltson. Hope you have a great third birthday today, Austin. Mom, Dad, Sissy, Grandma, and Auntie, love you so much. We also want to wish a happy birthday to Iva Kolstad, tomorrow turning 92 years old, and still writes, I'm told, for 3 local newspapers. Iva, have a wonderful 92nd birthday. AJ Williamson celebrating a 10th birthday on Saturday on the 4th. Says happy 10th birthday to our little firecracker. Love Mom, Dad, Sydney, and Scarlett. Glenda sending in a birthday for Bill Gobert, celebrating a birthday on Sunday. And our very own Montana production assistant, Ashley. I wish we could get a shot of Ashley right now on camera. She's taken a video of this whole thing. Ashley, happy birthday to you. We're so glad to have you with us, and you do a fantastic job. So happy birthday, Ashley. And we have an anniversary to get to this weekend as well. Michael and Rula McKinley says, happy birthday, honey. Love you with all my heart. Thanks for the amazing adventures. So happy anniversary to the two of you. Of course, if you would like to submit a birthday or anniversary for us to celebrate, it's pretty easy. Just head to the website in the search bar there, click birthday or anniversary. It'll pull up a form for you to fill out. Just click on the link there with the cupcake and balloons. The form's right there. It'll get it to us, and we'll be sure to celebrate it here at this time every day here on Montana This Morning. All right, Grant, it's been a gorgeous start to the day. We've been admiring the sunrise and the eye cams. It could be a little tricky for fireworks viewing, it sounds like.
It could be. Okay. So yeah, enjoy the Lion King sunrise as you walk out the door. Make sure to hold your child up and just scream at the sun.
I like it.
But yeah, we are looking at the possibility for some severe weather this afternoon. They will be isolated though in nature, so heads up. The damaging wind gusts as well as hail possible and frequent lightning will all be in the mix. And we are looking at also tomorrow the chance for some severe weather possible. Unfortunately for our 4th of July, mainly impacting those right around the 9 to 11 o'clock range in the evening. So we will need to make sure that we keep a weather eye on the horizon there. Temperatures as you walk out the door, 45 degrees in Great Falls, 50 in Helena, 49 in Lewistown, 53 in Glasgow. Pasco, 49 in Havre, and 44 in Cut Bank. As you head out the door, know that we are today mostly looking at mostly sunny skies, but then in the afternoon we will see clouds start to billow up with isolated chances for severe thunderstorms. We're going to keep our chances for storms, Shannon, from now through Wednesday.
All right, Grant, thank you, and we hope you stay with us. Montana This Morning continues in just a moment. Coming up this half hour, the governor responds to increased cases of COVID in the state. We'll hear what he and a top business official have to say. Plus, lesson plan will look at what the next school year could hold for Montana students and families. And later,
while the curtain has yet to be raised on some theaters in Montana due to COVID-19 concerns, it's full screen ahead at the Orpheum Theater in Conrad. I'm Tim McGonigal, and I'll have that story coming up.
Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
we're glad to have you with us. Happy Friday. I have not, since I've switched shifts here and on the morning show, I've not physically seen Tim in a long time. It's good to see Tim's face. Yeah. Anyway, we're glad to have you with us on this Friday. Grant's joining us this morning.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm physically here.
Physically
mentally,
here.
That's questionable.
That's me every day,
That's
though, to be
every
honest.
day.
Like, the viewers understand that.
Oh,
yeah.
goodness. Well, bless you for doing this, you know.
Here we are.
Goodness.
Yeah. Almost the weekend, though.
Almost
so
the
close.
weekend. And, you know, it's at least we're going to start off beautiful. Take a look at this shot.
Wow.
We've got some high cirrus clouds in the mix. It just looks gorgeous out there. Just soaking up that vitamin D and C. We're going to be looking at a beautiful day all in all. But we are also looking at the chance for some severe weather moving in. So heads up, we need to just make sure that we are staying weather aware. Damaging wind gusts as well. Hail is possible and frequent lightning later on this afternoon into the evening hours. Now, they will be isolated in nature. So at least if you are going to be going outside, just remember if you hear thunder, when thunder roars, go indoors. But besides that, hey, just wear sunscreen outside. It will be a beautiful day for most of us, but we just need to make sure that we are taking into account that it is a 9 on our UV index count, so you can actually start to burn within 15 minutes. And our winds, we aren't looking at anything too shabby. 10 to 20 miles an hour for friends in Helena and Cut Bank. Shannon?
All right. Thanks, Grant. We'll see you again in just a little bit. Time now is 6:32. Montana continues to reach milestones when it comes to coronavirus, coronavirus numbers. This week, the Treasure State surpassed the 1,000 confirmed cases mark. Thursday's 67 cases are a record since reports began in March. There's also been a 23rd death from coronavirus in the state, a person in Bighorn County. Montana has 373 active cases. More than 700 people have recovered. In a press conference on Thursday, the governor says he's worried Montanans are letting their guards down. He said that 6 weddings and their related gatherings have led to at least 24 cases and impacted 2 other states. The governor said people need to avoid large gatherings, or if they are around other people, wear masks. Bullock said he'd like it to become a socially accepted necessity rather than a requirement to wear masks. The president of the Montana Chamber of Commerce also appeared alongside the governor at that news conference and said many businesses are calling on people to increase their use of masks in public. Todd O'Hare said the business community doesn't want Montana to follow in the footsteps of other states that have had to reinstate closures of some establishments.
Government grants, low interest loans, business bailout dollars cannot compare to healthy economic activity. Businesses will not be able to survive in Montana without a healthy economic activity in the state. And healthy economic activity is founded on a healthy population.
We don't have to be like these other states and take steps backwards if we again raise our guard. And one of the most important ways we can raise that guard is to make wearing a mask a habit and normalized.
Bullock said he's still hopeful Montana can keep its number of cases from increasing greatly or even decline in the not too distant future. And heading into this Independence Day weekend, many people will be heading out for gatherings or celebrations. Montana right now is in phase 2, which has allowed for less restrictions due to COVID-19. Cascade City County Health Department officials say the phased reopening is partway responsible for this increase in cases.
So we have been seeing an increase in cases. I think there's a couple of contributing factors to that. One is we are doing more testing. We are recommending that any close contacts be tested as soon as they are notified of being a close contact. But that can't explain away all of the new cases. So what that tells us is that reopening is contributing to the spike in cases.
The governor's office released a set of guidelines for Montana public schools to follow as they consider how to reopen this fall amidst coronavirus. But so did the state superintendent of public instruction, and she's not exactly happy about this double set of plans. Early Thursday afternoon, State Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arntzen released a 40-page set of guidelines on how schools may reopen this fall. Within the hour, Lieutenant Governor Mike Kenney unveiled a separate set of reopening recommendations developed by the governor's office. Arntzen told us that she spoke with Kenney about 3 weeks ago and told him officials should have a unified plan. She says the governor's office going ahead on its own is, quote, a poor way of doing government. However, she still says that she'll include the governor's recommendations with information that she sends out to school districts this summer. Governor Bullock said since he had given the directive to close schools back in March, he thought it was important for his office to issue guidelines for reopening. Both documents are a list of recommendations that school districts can choose to follow as they decide how and whether to reopen this fall. COVID-19 cases continue to rise in Montana, and the Great Falls Public Library says it's taking steps to help mitigate the spread. Starting next Tuesday, July 7th, the library will require anyone who comes into the building to wear a mask to help prevent the spread of coronavirus. Library Director Susie Mcintyre said it wasn't an easy decision, but was necessary based on the number of increasing cases in the state. Children under the age of 12 are exempt from this policy, but they need to be supervised from someone older who can help adhere to those social distancing guidelines. Mcintyre said the library will provide masks at the front door if people don't already have one.
We definitely are always try to be data driven. You know, we're librarians, so we're really about the information. And so we're following the guidelines of the Centers for Disease Control and the City County Health Department. Our staff are interacting with a lot of different people throughout each day. And, you know, if we didn't have hundreds of people coming in and out of the library every day, it would be a little less of a concern. But because so many people use the library and use our services, we really need to make sure that we're not exposed.
Great Falls Public Library encourages people to call or email them with questions and to also follow them on social media for updates. Well, it's been about a month and a half since Montana movie theaters were allowed to reopen. While some box offices remain boarded up, others are gladly sharing their screens. MTN's Tim McGonigal takes us to one small town where the big picture is back.
On a Saturday summer night, people in Conrad, Montana are returning to a sense of normalcy by going to the movies.
We reopened June 5th, and the movie that we showed was Jaws.
Although Montana theaters were given the go-ahead to open May 15th, the historic Orpheum Theater waited a while to draw the curtain.
We just felt, as a group, maybe waiting till June to kind of see, how others fared, and it looks like we all pretty much fared about the same.
Milk chocolate M&Ms.
So far, the crowds have been what they expected, about 35 to 40 people per weekend. Before COVID, the crowds were about 60 to 65 per weekend. The stay-at-home order gave the crew an opportunity to perform a deep clean, including the difficult task of cleaning the theater's chandelier. In preparation for reopening, they strictly adhere to health department guidelines, including safe social distancing.
We've divided out the rows, every other row. We do have a couple of handicap accessible chairs, so I wanted to make sure that those rows were left open.
The Orpheum has been a part of Conrad's history for more than 100 years. Ironically, it opened the first time during the height of a pandemic.
The theater was built in 1918, and as a string of Orpheum theaters, across the country, that seemed to be the general name. When it was purchased by the Ponderay Arts Council, it was in pretty sad condition. The ceiling was falling in. The roof needed to be replaced.
A generous grant from the Weekend Foundation funded renovation of the current Art Deco style and included a stage expansion.
So in 2012, we went digital.
Movies are the main attraction, but other cultural events add to the Orpheum's intrigue.
Musical performers, Padre players to do plays on the theater, Shakespeare in the Park, Missoula Children's Theater.
While moviegoers anxiously await the new releases, they're still giving 2 thumbs up to some new classics.
Are you guys excited to see the movies?
Yes.
Maybe COVID isn't the showstopper we thought it was. In Conrad, Tim McGonigal, MTN News.
Well, the time now is 6:40 here on your Friday. Coming up on Montana This Morning, a new member of the zoo crew is slowly making his way to his new home.
I'm telling you, that's a funny story right there. 7 a.m. temperatures are going to be around 49 degrees. We will start to introduce a slight chance for showers for our neck of the woods around 7 p.m. And then for those around Helena, well, we're going to start to see a chance for isolated severe thunderstorms possible in the early afternoon hours. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
We are powered by the Montana Television Network. Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
Welcome back. We've been watching a beautiful sunrise here on this Friday morning through our iCam looking out over Great Falls on this July 2nd. We're glad to have you with us. It's now 6:43. Independence Day weekend is usually one of the busiest travel weekends in the nation. AAA is reporting summer travel this year will be down almost 15% from last year. This includes travel not just by car, but by bus, train, and even cruise ship. But summer road trips are still going strong. AAA predicts those road trips to destinations, both near and far, will only be down about 3% from last year. Overall, it's expected that Americans will take 683 million road trips this summer. No doubt a few of those may make their way to us here in Montana. Allegiant is joining the long list of airlines that now require passengers to wear a mask. The rule is being enforced. It comes after complaints from customers. Allegiant's new mask requirement will start at check-in and end when customers leave the gate area. The airline says it will provide a mask for passengers who don't have one. Coronavirus has thrown a wrench in some Independence Day celebrations. The Great Falls 4th of July parade has been canceled. The Black Eagle Community Center is going forward with their parade and celebration. It all starts at noon on Saturday at the community center. It'll look a little bit different this year, though. Organizers say it will be a reverse parade. Meanwhile, the annual fireworks show in Great Falls will also still happen. In an effort to limit crowd size, 2 shows will go on at the same time, one at West Bank Park, one at Centene Stadium. Both of those begin at 10:30 p.m. And a heads up as you're out and about tomorrow morning, West Bank Park and Elks Riverside Park will be closed starting at 6 a.m. to set up for all those fireworks. And then River Drive from 1st Avenue North to 6th Street will also be closed all day. In Great Falls, fireworks are allowed within city limits from 8 a.m. to midnight through July 4th. They should be set off on private property. There are fines starting at $100 if rules aren't followed. Meanwhile, in Helena, fireworks are not allowed to be set off within city limits. They are legal, though, in the county from 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. through July 6th. And you can find more details and check out all of the specifics on what's still on, as well as fireworks regulations right now on our website. Experts are asking pet owners to be vigilant over the 4th of July holiday. The celebration leads to more lost pets than any other day of the year. Experts say July 5th is one of the busiest days at animal shelters. Many pets get scared from their homes by those unfamiliar sounds of fireworks. Others flee because homeowners and guests can become a little careless during their celebrations.
Having picnics or barbecues, they've got guests coming in and out of the house, so that's one thing, we hear a lot of is, my aunt left the door open and the dog got out, or the kids are running in and out of the yard and left the gate open. Secondly, the fireworks, it's a different noise to them, it's loud, it can be scary to some animals, and they even in a fenced yard, they'll try and jump out and run and hide somewhere.
Animal control suggests microchipping your pet so you can be more easily reunited if they get lost. They also encourage to talk to your vet about some anti-anxiety medication that may make the holiday a little less stressful for your pet. And they say keep them inside during those celebrations to decrease the chance that if they're scared, they'll run away. And take a look at a new animal making his way to Zoo, Montana. Very, very slowly. It's an 18-month-old male two-toed sloth. This slow but steady traveler only goes about 41 yards per day, so not expected in Billings till later this summer. He also does not yet have a name. He does have an Instagram account, though, where you can follow that leisurely journey to the zoo. You can find a link to that page on our website.
Well, the reason we're looking at sunny skies to start us off is because of a high pressure off towards the northwest of us, but that will change as we head throughout the day tomorrow, looking at the chance for some isolated severe thunderstorms to try and ruin some of our plans to watch some fireworks. We're going to talk about all this, though, and more coming up right after, though, this break. All right, well, welcome back, everybody. Good morning. I hope that you're ready for a beautiful start to your day. We just have to make sure that we are staying weather aware for the afternoon hours, where we could be looking at some isolated severe thunderstorms possible, mainly affecting those from Helena all the way up to Havre and out towards Hayes and Lewistown. And then we have a better chance of severe weather for those around Glasgow as well as Scobie, where we could see some scattered severe thunderstorms. The main threats with any of these storms will be damaging wind gusts as well as hail is possible, along with frequent lightning. Now, take a look at this sky right here. It looks absolutely beautiful outside, and it doesn't feel too shabby either. Temperatures are around, well, they should be here. They're around the 45-degree mark. Out towards Helena, 51 degrees, Fort Benton, 52, and out towards Lewistown, around 50 degrees. All in all, a beautiful morning, and it feels great too. 53 degrees in Glasgow, a little bit warmer out towards Jordan at 58 degrees. And with our winds, we continue to see calm conditions, no problems there. West wind at 7 miles an hour for our friends up in Cutbank. And why is this? Well, it's because the high pressure is really taking hold of really everyone in our viewing area, where it's not allowing for any air to rise up, causing some storms. But you head on out towards the east, where we're looking at the stationary boundary front. We have clouds that are around it, as well as our chances for showers there too. Now, tomorrow we do have a chance for some severe weather. I hate to say that, especially with it being the 4th of July, but that is the case, where we are looking at showers and thunderstorms moving in the later part of the afternoon into the early evening, into even the late evening hours, with damaging wind gusts. Hail is possible and frequent lightning, and that could disrupt some of our fireworks shows. Going to go ahead and put this into motion as we head throughout the day today. Notice how we start to see these clouds start to billow up out from Billings as well as Bozeman by around 4 p.m. Going throughout the later afternoon, start seeing some showers and thunderstorms try and creep into the area. Better chance, though, as this line moves towards Glasgow right around 8:30 in the evening. Tomorrow, though, we're going to start the day mostly sunny. It will be a beautiful start, but then clouds will start to build in right around 2 p.m. And then we're going to be looking at some showers starting off west of Helena by around 6:30, making their way towards Great Falls right around 9 o'clock. Now, continuing throughout the night, around 11 p.m., we could be looking at showers actually building up in strength, making their way towards Glasgow before they exit our area right around midnight to around 1 a.m. Today's high, 79 degrees in Cutbank, 86 in Havre, 83 in Great Falls, and 89 in Malta, following down to around 52 degrees here in the Electric City, and around 53 in Helena, 50 in White Sulphur Springs. We will keep a chance for showers and thunderstorms today as well as tomorrow. Better chance for tomorrow. By Sunday, though, falling back down with mostly sunny skies, and then Monday comes back around. We're going to be looking at a better chance for showers, and then an even better chance for us on Tuesday. Helena, you guys will be able to see a better chance for showers and thunderstorms today and tomorrow. Keep in mind, some of them could be severe. Shannon.
Grant, thank you. Time now is 6:53. Wall Street is off today for the July 4th holiday weekend. On Thursday, the Dow added 92 points. The Nasdaq gained 53. The S&P 500 was up 14. The unemployment rate fell to 11.1% in June. Data from the Labor Statistics Department shows that 4.8 million jobs were added last month. June was the second consecutive month of job growth since millions of Americans were laid off in April. Economists say numbers from July are far better than what they predicted, but we still haven't caught up to those pre-pandemic numbers. The country would need to create about 14 million more jobs to catch up to that number that we had in February. New spikes in coronavirus cases are hitting companies that would have benefited from a quick reopening. Cruise operators Carnival, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean were each down more than 2% yesterday. Some airlines like United and American also fell.
Coming up, a 4th of July like no other. We'll show you where beaches are closing for the weekend as coronavirus cases continue to soar. Plus, a look at changes to air travel in the new normal. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
Welcome back. Happy Friday to you. Time now is 6:56. Let's get you out the door with a few of the day's top stories on this July 2nd, 2020. Montana continues to reach milestones when it comes to coronavirus numbers. This week, the Treasure State surpassed the 1,000 confirmed cases mark. Thursday's 67 cases are a record since reports began back in March. There has also been a 23rd death from the virus in the state, a person in Bighorn County. Montana has 373 active cases. More than 700 people have recovered. Coronavirus has thrown a wrench in some Independence Day celebrations. In Great Falls, the 4th of July parade has been canceled, but the Black Eagle Community Center is going forward with their parade and celebration. It starts at noon on Saturday at the Community Center. It'll look a little bit different this year. Organizers say it will be a reverse parade. The annual fireworks show in Great Falls will also still happen, but in an effort to limit crowd size, 2 shows will be going on simultaneously, one at West Bank Park, one at Centene Stadium. Both of those start at 10:30 p.m. And just a heads up, as you're out and about tomorrow, West Bank Park and Elks Riverside Park will be closed starting at 6 a.m. And River Drive from 1st Avenue North to 6th Street will also be closed all day. All right, and don't forget, as you're heading out and about for your 4th of July weekend, snap a picture with your favorite mug. Send it to us for Mugshot Monday. We'll be announcing another winner this coming Monday. Just use the hashtag Mugshot Monday. Put it right on our Facebook wall there on the KRTV Facebook page. That's the easiest way for us to be able to show it and give you a chance to win some coffee and a mug.
That sounds delightful. I could use
be
some
expecting
right now.
one from you, Grant.
Oh,
yeah.
Goodness. Well, we are looking at today's high, getting up to 79 degrees in Cut Bank, 82 in Shodo, 83 in Great Falls, 90 though in Glasgow. Tonight falling down to around 53 in Helena, 52 in Great Falls, 58 in Havre, and 63 in Glasgow. Heading out the doors, we do need to make sure that we are staying weather aware, that we could see some isolated severe thunderstorms possible later on this afternoon. And yeah, unfortunately, we're going to be looking at the same situation tomorrow with an even better chance for showers and thunderstorms, with some of them could be severe. And unfortunately, the timing of this all, especially for tomorrow, will be right around the time that we are setting off our fireworks.
Okay, so could be an interesting viewing party.
Exactly. So as Will Turner says in Pirates of the Caribbean, keep a weather eye on the horizon.
I like that. That's some good advice going into the weekend. All right. Well, Grant, thanks for being with us this morning. And thank you for joining us. We hope you have a fun and safe Independence Day weekend.